What's up, Raiders? Bionic here. Welcome to another Raid Shadow Legends video. Today we're going to have some fun. We're going to use my NUKERS along with this newly acquired Lydia for that AoE decrease defense and weaken. We're going to take them to the arena and we're going to test. We're going to see just how much damage they can deal now being fully buffed, which is something that I did not have on my account before. AoE decrease defense, I had that, but AoE decrease defense and weaken, never had that on my account. So you combine that with the increased attack, next thing you know, you're getting some pretty crazy numbers, right? So I want to test them because I imagine that at some point I'm going to re-gear some of these champions. Now that everything is done, now that I have faction wars completed, all my dungeon runs are going well, clan boss is going relatively well, the only thing that's going to come up is Doom Tower, so I might need to shuffle things around. Anyway, so before I do that, I want to, like I said, show all of these champions in action. There's about 10 or so of them. We're going to quickly cover the gear because I did cover them in separate videos, and then we're going to take them for a spin. Okay, so hopefully this isn't too long, and do let me know what you think in the comments below about all these champions. First one I'm going to talk about is my Foley. Why? Because he's one of my favorite ones still. This guy is also my farmer for 12-3 brutal, so like I'm probably always going to use that guy for specifically that number one, but like he's also the main nuker for arena right now. Okay, so total stats, we're looking at 100% crit rate, 255% crit damage, 4.5k attack roughly, and we do have Helm Smasher for this. The only skill that's completely maxed out is the Sealed Fate. Then we have a Relentless Rhodos, which has not changed in a very long time. Still use the guy quite a bit, mainly in Tag Arena, also Faction Wars, and in one dungeon. Okay, so I guess he could be improved quite a bit. All his skills are done, but since there was a nerf, I'm sort of reluctant to sort of spend more on him right now. I'm gonna wait and see if this is still the best setup for him, and if I eventually get a better Relentless set, which I currently don't have, then I might switch it up. We do have a Flawless Execution on this guy though. Then we have two relatively new ones, Brachus and Mountain King. So Brachus is in full Savage. He is a little bit slower, which is something I don't like, and he is a single target. I don't like, kind of like Rhodos, I don't quite enjoy single target neuters as much as I do an AoE nuker like Foley, but he can still be very useful because of his passive, and like he can one-shot some champions, kind of like Mountain King. So he is in Tag Arena and in Faction Wars. We have 97% crit rate, 220% crit damage with Flawless Execution, with Helm Smasher and Savage. Okay, all the skills are done on this guy, and for the Mountain King, kind of similar, but this is a shield set with a relative amount of resistance, not quite enough for the team that I'm running him in right now. Very slow, 156 speed, 100% crit rate, 250% crit damage, which is kind of nice. This is with Helm Smasher, so one of my better geared champions. I'm not gonna lie, this one is kind of interesting. Did we do Rhodos total stats? 101% crit rate, 247% crit damage, 4.2k attack, 162 speed, also kind of slow again, and like a single target nuker, which is not my favorite, but you know, sometimes that's all you have. Then we have another AoE nuker, which I like quite a bit. It is my Zorgala. I talked about her not too long ago. She's also at about 200 speed, which is very nice. 100% crit rate, 240% crit damage, 4.2k attack, so a little bit low, could be improved. All the skills are done, and she has Helm Smasher. Okay, so she hasn't changed in a while. She's being used obviously in Faction Wars, occasionally in the arena if I really need a force nuker, and a lot of the keeps. I use her in the keeps for that AoE decrease defense on top of her ability to nuke, which is kind of very nice. The next one I'm going to cover is Seer. She can be an arena nuker. Okay, we're going to give it a shot, but she has low accuracy, but maybe we can get it to work because now with the buff from Arbiter and Lydia, and then the AoE decrease defense and weaken, I'm thinking, you know what, maybe this is good enough, right? So we'll see. 206 speed, which I also like, above 200. I keep saying it, if your nukers are above 200 speed, it's a lot easier for you to buff up your speed, go into crowd control, then go into your AoE decrease defense and weaken, and finally make it to your nuker before anybody cuts in. Okay, we have 102% crit rate and 257% crit damage with Helm Smasher. This is kind of nice. Her Karma Burn, well, all her skills are done on this champion. The next one is another single target nuker. It's Faceless. Faceless can hit like a truck. Surprisingly, this guy, well, not surprisingly, it's mainly this skill right here because it ignores shield, block damage buff, as well as defense. So he's kind of like a tank killer. Problem is you don't have a block revive, so sometimes it's a little bit harder to use, but now with Lydia, he might actually be a very viable option for your main arena team, right? So we're going to take him for a spin. We have 92% crit rate, 253% crit damage, 4.5k attack. This guy also has Helm Smasher, so kind of nice, kind of well geared, to be honest. The next one is going to be Royal Guard, because he has really nice stats. Even though it's AoE enemy max HP, I still want to take him for a spin with that AoE decreased defense and weaken, just to kind of see, you know, is this enough, right? Is 3.7k or 3.8, we'll say, k attack, 101% crit rate, and then 260% crit damage, is that enough? That is with a flawless execution, not Helm Smasher though. The next one, or the final one we're going to try today, is going to be Ultimate Gaelic, which is right here. Also not that crazy gear right now. He does have Savage. Total stats were at 102% crit rate, 177% crit damage only, 3.3k attack, 191 speed. You're probably wondering, why the heck would you want to test this? Because he has good multipliers. Ultimate Gaelic can hit really hard if well geared, but also because paired with a Tormin, that's actually quite interesting to see. Okay, so that's a quick overview of the champions. So now let's jump right into the arena. All right, so here we go. We're gonna go down this list. We're gonna hope that we can take them all on as is. This one should be relatively easy. So let's go first battle. We've got, let's just go on auto, increase our attack, then we go into provoke, right, from the Torment. He's my crowd control guy. We're going to go into this AoE decrease defense and weaken from Lydia, which, by the way, she deals a lot of damage. If you haven't seen my build video on her, I geared her to not only be able to debuff, but also to deal a good amount of damage. And then let's go into our AoE. Boom, we had like 90k hits from that Foley. One of my favorite ones, can hit like a truck. Okay, let's try another one here. Let's test. I believe against this one, perhaps Zorgala would be a little bit better. Yes and no, maybe not against this champ, but you know what? Let's just go for it. Let's try Zorgala. Let's see what kind of hits we can get from this champion. We're going to buff up, increase attack, AoE provoke or stun, AoE decrease defense and weaken. Okay, we kind of kill that, what's her name, Lydia? And boom, right there. Okay, so we had like single hits for like 30k. So you multiply that by, or you add those by 3 hits, that was also probably close to a 90k damage potential from that AoE from Zorgala. A lot of them were kind of dead from the Lydia, the Death Siren, but I guess you kind of see the point here. Who is next on the list? We're going to use, let's just use our Rudolph. Let's see what we can do with our Rudolph against this team. There's a Lysandra, which is not exactly the perfect matchup, but you know what? That's all right. We should make it to our Rudolphs before they go. Hopefully, if we get some good crowd control right here, which we do. Provoke, let's go AoE decrease defense and weaken. We do kill one. And then the Rudolphs is up. Not quite. Okay, so like my Arbiter is that fast, or should I say my Rudolph is that slow. Arbiter can go twice before my Rudolph even takes a turn. So let's see who has a decreased defense and weaken. Let's go for this Trunda. 105k. That's not bad, and he's not like necessarily fully buffed, but I just wanted the extra turn, so I get to take out 2 champions. And that's what I mean by like AoE champions for, or like nukers, in my opinion, are still a little bit better, like a Foley, which has the AoE block revive. Anyway, Rhodos is now harder to use for that. Decent hit from Lydia right there. All right, so that was Rhodos. Now let's move on to the next team here. We're gonna do the Mountain King against this team. Let's see what we can do with this guy if we manage to make it to him before somebody cuts in. That's always the issue when your nuker is very slow. Kind of the same thing as Rhodos here, but looks like we have some control. AoE decrease defense and weaken. Once again, we are being lapped by our Arbiter. Let's try to reduce the turn meter on this one just in case. And then let's go for, they basically all have decreased defense and weaken. Let's see what we can do with this right here. Let's go straight for this Arbiter. 141k. That's actually quite nice. Kind of very impressive, to be honest. 23k from the Torment as well. That's kind of nice. What can we do with this Lydia? I guess we're not going to make it back around to our Mountain King. Probably not. Maybe. Okay, looks like we'll have another hit from the guy. Let's go for some crowd control. And with this skill right here, we get 82k, which is pretty reasonable as well. All right, so Mountain King done. Now let's move on to something else. Let's see. Hopefully we can go first against this team. Let's. I was going to do the Brachus, but not quite sure it's the best matchup. We only have a single target anyway, so let's try the Seer first, and then I'll come back around to the Brachus. All right, here we go. Seer. If we're first, we should be all right here. We are. Can we get control? Looks like we can. We got them all. AoE decrease defense and weaken. and they do have some buffs. All right, so we have 3 on our side, they have 1 on their end, and most of them has decreased defense and weaken. So let's go for this karma burn. Okay, I saw like 92k in there. That was pretty impressive as well. So I mean, like I said, if you have enough accuracy on your Seer, even though she's built for dungeons, she can actually do the job quite well. All right, so now we're gonna try and showcase the Faceless. I want to see this guy in action. I think we have a good team right here. Actually, it's a little bit risky, but if we manage to make it to our Faceless before this fully takes a turn, maybe we can actually hit that Krisk, right, with the Faceless. Can we one-shot this big guy? That's the goal. That's the purpose of this Faceless. So let's buff up right here, which we do get. That's all right. Let's go for some provoke. We got the stun on the Foley. That's awesome. Let's make it to our Lydia. Yeah, we got that as well. So AoE decrease defense and weaken. We got it on the Krisk. All right, now all we need to do is to get Faceless to take a turn and also to get him the crit, right? He does not have 100% crit rate, unfortunately, but maybe we'll get lucky. I think he's at like 94%, right? So there's a small chance we don't get this. Okay, here we go. This Krisk with the shield buff. Boom, 130k, right? The tank killer right there. I love this guy. This is actually a nice team overall because now if she revives, if Arbiter revives the Krisk, we're gonna get a proc on the Lydia. So this is a good way to sort of like not have block revive on your team, which seems to be still somewhat the meta to some extent, right? So let's see what's gonna happen here. Let's then try to, can we kill this Foley with Lydia? Yeah, easy peasy, denied right there. Then we get a turn. So now let's see, can we kill this Arbiter? Not quite. We didn't have decreased defense and weaken, but still. Lydia, man, I'm telling you guys, I think she's going to be, we're going to see a lot more of her in the arena. Okay, so then let's go for this hit right here, or this skill right here, sorry. Yeah, let's just go finish off this Arbiter, 32k, no decreased defense and weaken, but still, you kind of saw it right in the beginning there, that big hit from the Faceless. It was beautiful to see. All right, now let's try to find a team we can showcase our brackets. We're now in Platinum because unfortunately we had too many bot accounts, or sort of bot pages. So let's see if we're faster. If we're faster here, maybe we're going to get a good hit from the brackets. Okay, it looks like we are. So let's buff up. Let's hope that we can get some crowd control here. We do have provoke on all of them. It's good. And a stun on that Sifi. Beautiful. Let's see who we can get with that decreased defense and weaken. Okay, so we did not get the Arbiter, but they lost that Trunda. All right, so I guess it's going to be down to the Sifi. We're going to put the Brachus up against this Sifi right here. Let's see what we can do with the Hunter's Howl. Here we go. Okay, 46k, that's decent. And then we got the Fears on the other one. That's actually quite nice. I'm thinking like even against stronger opponents that have a lot of defense like a Sifi, we can deal that kind of damage and we can almost one-shot them. I typically put the Brachus up against the Arbiter to try and one-shot that Arbiter, but since this one, you know, only the Sifi had that decreased defense, we kind of went for her. So this is probably good here. Can we make it back around to the big bad wolf? Let's kill this Rhodos. We're good. And we're probably not going to kill her with this right here. So, okay, here we go. With the wolf, this skill against the Arbiter. 16k, 14k hits, and we had, what, like 6 hits that we could have done like that? So, yeah, the guy can hit, right? The guy can hit pretty hard. Okay. Okay, now we're down to our last two, which is Royal Guard and Ultimate Gaelic, and we're in Platinum, so I should have started with them. Anyway, let's see if we can find a not-so-tough team for those two guys, because let's face it, they're not exactly built for, you know, Platinum Arena. Okay, so let's start with, you know what, with our, let's do Ultimate Gaelic. Let's bring him in here. All right, let's give this a shot against this team. Are we faster? I hope we are. Yes, we are. Good. Or else it would have been rough. Okay, we got the provoke, and I'm thinking we're maybe even going to kill some of them with this. Not quite, but here we go. With this Ultimate Gaelic, what kind of hits are we going to get with this Burning Rage? Okay, that was pretty decent, right? Like I said, I mean, the guy is not built for only damage the way I'm using him right now, but like he can still hit. He's pretty impressive. I think he's underrated as a nuker. I think most people just kind of overlook him, but he's hard to gear for two things, which is HP burn against the spiders, and then as a nuker for the arena. But now I don't use him as the HP burn anymore, so like I can play around with this. All right, now we're down to the Royal Guard, so let's try to find a team that we can take on. We're still in Platinum, which is a little bit rough, but let's try this right here. It's not as hard judging by the total player power, but maybe we can deal enough damage, all right? And let's see if we can get 2 hits from the guy, because he has 2 skills that can actually deal quite a lot of damage. We know the one for the enemy AoE max HP, But there's also his A3 that deals a reasonable amount of damage by itself if you have, of course, enough attack and whatnot. Okay, so we did get the weaken and decreased defense. Now let's try to just control the turn meter here real quick from this Arbiter. She's basically almost down. Still, let's see what kind of hits we can get with the takedown ability. Here we go. Okay, so 51k, which is not that bad on that Molly, right? But we did have sort of like, I guess, a strong hit or so. I'll double check, but like, the guy can hit. If you don't have anything else, and here's a tip for you guys. If you don't have a farmer, I was using Royal Guard for a while until I built my Foley to do it faster. Okay, so if you're missing that sort of like build on your account, or you're in between moving stuff around, you can play around with this guy. Okay, kind of funny here that Lydia dealt more damage to this team, not gonna lie. So like, obviously Lydia is a big key component for this to work, but still guys, I wanted to showcase a couple nukers on my account. I want to know what you guys think in the comments below. Which ones do you like the most? Which ones do you think I should use the most? Let's say in Classic Arena, or let's say in Tag Arena. I can show you guys my teams here real quick. Probably gonna move these around, but like Foley's in there, Brachus is in there, Rhodos is in there, and the Mountain King is in there. But yeah, so that's it. Hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, I will catch you guys later.